Shabbat Shalom.
Paisley, what it do, brother? No, we gotta talk to the people.
Maximum volume.
Seeing all Israel in Israel.
Brothers stick together, gotta survive. Yeshaya with us, standing right by side. We know we Israelites, but everybody ain't trying to live right. All Israel ain't Israel, and that's a fact. Can't you see that we under attack? Hey, we shooting at each other every day, quick to stab each other in the back. All Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, hey, screaming Black Lives Matter when we the ones really doing the killing. All Israel ain't, hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, hey, cussing out Gentiles, but salvation ain't a part of your mission. Israel ain't Israel, I know that. We live in the moment like Kodak. People say they want to ride with you, but when it goes down, we a bro. And every time we hit the streets, I see another Israelite attacking me. Everybody say they Israelites, but everybody don't follow Christ. No, debating the strikers out there with me. Every week on Facebook, YouTube, and IG. And they hot seats try to meet and greet. And every sister D, I'm looking for heat. They blowing them trees, still popping pills and preaching the word like, well, yes, you for real. They focus on Gentiles, but can't help they own people find life now. They lost in their wickedness, preaching the law. Get it right, but lost in sauce. Your own eye before you see a flaw. And your one brother can't carry your cross. Israel ain't Israel. Everybody got a pistol. Shoot on your brother, forgetting your mission. Repent about time for Christ and Shia. You got eyes to see, ears to hear, hoping you listen. Brothers stick together, gotta survive. Yeshaya with us, standing right by side. We know we Israelites, but everybody ain't trying to live right. Israel ain't Israel, and that's a fact. Can't you see that we under attack? Hey, we shooting at each other every day, quick to stab each other in the back. Israel ain't Israel. Hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel. Hey, yo, hey, screaming Black Lives Matter when we the ones really doing the killing. Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, hey, cussing out the Gentiles, but salvation ain't a part of your mission. Israel ain't Israel.
Toe to toe with these devils, cornerstone, no pebble. Zephaniah 2 and 1, we supposed to be one. Stick together like Elmers, treat your brothers like foes. Lusting after his wife, he who wise wins souls. You more concerned with getting likes, really worse than a pastor. Spreading strike backbiter, you who Christ called viper. Envy turned him to a liar, greed turned him to the Delilah. Never had a conversation, yet you're saying you don't like him. Just a demon infringing, just a witch in a dress. Cast a spell, Lord Hex. Instagram trying to flex, pentagram on her neck. Savage spirit she possess, another train about to wreck. Reaper about to come collect. Can't build without love. When you come correct. Instead of showing what you know, show that man some respect. Prophesy, cover dead. Otherwise you won't trash. Talking silver 30 pieces, get your Judas with the bag.
Brothers stick together, gotta survive. Yeshaya with us, standing right by side. We know we Israelites, but everybody ain't trying to live right. Israel ain't Israel, and that's a fact. Can't you see that we under attack? Hey, we shooting at each other every day, quick to stab each other in the back. Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, hey, screaming Black Lives Matter when we the ones really doing the killing. Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, Israel ain't Israel, hey, yo, hey, cussing out the Gentiles, but salvation ain't a part of your mission. Israel ain't Israel, know that.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom to all of y'all. You know, I pray the week been prosperous, peaceful. Any challenges that we did face, I pray that we were able to overcome them. You know what I mean, with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Shabbat Shalom out. So, you know, really just want to glorify the Father like always before we dig into, you know, whatever the message is or what's on my spirit to share. You know, we give all glory, all honor, all esteem, all praise is due to the Ancient of Days. It's due to the Most High, the one who formed, you know, man from the dust of the earth, created the clouds, created the rain, know where the storehouse is at for the snow, the frost. You know what I mean? Who gave us the changing of the seasons? All praises to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power of the Hebrews, the great I am that I am, as I call him, Ahia, in the name of Yeshaya. Others calling them, you know, the names that they call them, but nonetheless, Salakia. I'm gonna have to call you back. Yeah, though, family. So today what I wanted to talk about, you know, over time, of course, and period of time, you know, a lot of times I try to avoid as much as I can discussing, you know, the differences that we have within the nation. Seeing that, you know, my goal if anybody, know me, my goal is to draw in the lost sheep. You know what I'm saying? To draw in the lost sheep. Like the scripture let us know, it said that those who are whole need not a physician. So a lot of time when I'm fishing, it's for those who don't know, trying to get them in, and I don't want to deter them. But nonetheless, it has to be talked about. So what's on my spirit is that judgment is going to begin at the house of the Most High. All right, and I'm saying it because a lot of times in the truth, we that are in the truth, who the Most High has spared, given mercy to, given grace to, uh, and saw us fit to be drawn out of the darkness. A lot of times, we go out and we prophesy to the wind. We make the posts over social media. Some of us, condemning everybody. All right, but nonetheless, we got to understand and know, man, that before anybody get dealt with, when the time of judgment does hit, I'm talking about the full judgment. We seeing bits and pieces of it, but it ain't hit just yet. You know what I'm saying? But when it really hit, the Most High said the judgment gonna start with His house. He ain't gonna start with the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He gonna start with his people. Those of us definitely who in the know. All right, and within it is important because when we escape that mindset, family, what I start to see brothers ministering, people want to teach and enlighten and edify people. The information becomes the drive. The knowledge becomes the drive. The lack of compassion for the people is absent, though. You know what I mean? That becomes where we pushing away more people than you drawing. You know what I mean? The Most High said, with love and kindness have I drawn you. All right, and it's a time for us, it's a place for us, to come boldly. Well, matter of fact, we're gonna do that anyway. But nonetheless, the compassion, lacking that compassion, lacking the patience for your neighbor, lacking the understanding for our brothers and sisters who haven't been enlightened. It's our job to enlighten them. All right, but in that case, this is where you get to seeing people talking about even now, the season that we in. We in a season where we're gonna be celebrating the memorial blowing of trumpets. All praise to the Most High for those who are celebrating this Shabbat, this Sabbath. Those who gonna celebrate the next Sabbath and the following Sabbath after that. But memorial blowing of trumpets, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Tabernacles. You have some that come against another brother or sister because of the calendar different. Condemn them out, man. You got it wrong. You off. So and so on and so forth. But this same person will leave that conversation and go smoke a blunt. Leave that conversation and go hop on a dope website, go in the bathroom and mess around with themselves. Same people. You condemning this person about trying to keep the commandments. Meanwhile, you out here doing something any and everything. Judgment gonna begin with us, though. We gotta check ourselves. We gotta look in the mirror, and the mirror being the scriptures, and see where we fall in line. Humble yourself down. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. D.D. Smith, a novel Israel journey, the truth, Yehuda Israel, Amuna Israel, Angela Harris, living by the way, and everybody else that's on. I see we got 16 here. Hit the like button if it's on your spirit to do so. Like I say, the drive, the traffic for other people who will need this word. If it's edifying for you, it could be edifying for the next person. All right, but that's the direction that I'm headed in, family. It's a lot of things. People dealing with malice, people dealing with unforgiving heart. You might be going through something right now, as a matter of fact, to where you kind of holding a grudge against somebody. Man, if you give up the ghost holding that grudge, brother, if you give up the ghost holding that grudge, sister, man, you're not getting in the kingdom. You know what I mean? You got to have a forgiving heart. You know what I mean? It said, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. And this being able to see the Most High's hand moving in our lives. All right, and it's going to go into another portion of the conversation of what I want to talk about. All right, but nonetheless, even having brothers and sisters out here who their main goal, the main thing that they focused on is their reputation in the eyes of man. You know what I mean? How they look in the eyes of everybody else, not in the eyes of the Most High. You know what I mean? So we go out. Some people say, well, I got to make a stand for this truth. because the world and condemned us, beat us down. We've been trodden down and rejected so much. So when it comes to this gospel, people thinking we soft because we dealing with the Bible. I gotta be the one who be the lion about it. Man, that ain't your job, bro. That ain't your job, sir. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is one of the reasons why people get out of hand and these spirits be running rapid too. Man, the truth was a gift to each and every one of us. It was a gift. So when we understand it in the root word or going back word process, within gift is give. You didn't have it at first. You didn't possess it at first, man. So understanding it, we can't handle the gospel however we want to handle it. You can't just be talking to people however you want to talk to them. You can't deliver the truth however you feel like it should be delivered. You got to go pray about that thing. Go holler at the Most High. Father, how should I deliver this message? You know what I mean? And even some people who, they get to the point to where, you know, somebody might have a question about the scriptures. And people feeling like they should just automatically just jump in and give an answer. That ain't always the case. Even though you might have the answer, man, sometimes the Most High wants you to look, hey, hold on. Before you answer them, come power up, get you some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? On how to answer that, on how to approach that person. You know what I'm saying? In the cases where we don't, you might end up pushing a soul away. James 5:20 let us know the one that convert the sinner from his soul. So he cover a multitude of sins. All right, but we out here polluting the sheep, man. We out here scattering the flock. Not knowing that, look, man, when that judgment hit, you out here on the corner saying what all over social media, doing your thing, boastful with your head and your hindsight because of what you know. Man, look, when the terror strike, man, none of us ain't prepared for the day of the Most High, man. We ain't prepared for that, how that's gonna look and how it's really gonna go down. You know what I mean? So we rehearsing the righteous acts. We rehearsing these things to get it right. You know what I mean? We're rehearsing these things to praying that we be found acceptable, praying that we be found approved to enter the New Jerusalem, right? Some people out here right now feel like, man, they for sure going into the gate. Hey, I'm gonna let you know, bro. You a drunkard, man. You ain't getting in them gates like that. You not getting in them gates like that. You full of rage. You full of bitterness. You not getting in the gates like that, man. If we decide we want to be fornicators and adulterers, unrepentant of those sins, you not getting in the gate, man. You talking about you want to eat that pork, that shrimp, the crab, the lobster, you not getting in. Backbiters, somebody tell you something. They tell you this in confidence, man. They pouring out their heart spiritually. They let you know, like, man, I feel like I can trust you with this information. This is information that's, you know what I mean, it's sacred to me. It's personal. You know what I mean? If somebody else heard, I'm going to feel injured. They tell you that, you run off and go tell somebody else condemning that person. Or you condemning a person while they in prison, lying on them, defaming somebody, being a false witness. You doing that, brother, sister, man, you not getting in. You're not getting in the gate, man. Simple as that. And there's a lot of people that's playing with the truth, playing about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this too. Before we get into the message, this just was on my spirit family to share. Let us not be fooled on the flip side. We got some who, because we in this walk, we striving to get into the kingdom, right? You got some who will say, if they did see you fall short, right? You wrestling with that thing. You're not laying down to yourself. You battling. You able to say no here and there, but then you fall, you get weak. Okay. You got some that feel like because we in this truth and we living for the Most High, striving to be approved before Him, that they feel like they can disrespect us. They feel like they'll, you know, say, well, look at what you doing. Listen, if anybody on here who think like that, understand this. My sin ain't gonna be an excuse for you. Your sin ain't gonna be an excuse for me. I can't look at this brother and say, well, look at what he doing and what she ain't doing, so I ain't gonna try my best. Man, look, you gonna wake up in them flames, man. You waking up in them flames. Simple as that. It's gonna be on everybody. It's contingent on us as individuals. So the question posed there is, when this strike, when you stand before the throne of the Most High, You yourself, when the judgment begins, what do you, which side you think you on? Where you feel like the judgment gonna land for you? When you die and you give up the ghost, and you, where will you go? What would the Most High say about you? All right, and then so when we get into it, let me start a little further for the target audience. Let me get this clear. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy 29. So when I come on, the mindset and the target are the people, the Most High's chosen people, the rejected, the downtrodden, those who've been condemned. You know what I mean? Who've been categorized as the minority. Those who are descendants of those who came off the slave ships, whether it was the sub-Saharan slave trade or the transatlantic slave trade. All right, the boat stopping in America, stopping in England, Britain, Brazil, South America, all around the earth. Let's go to Deuteronomy 29 though. This is the target audience, and I'll tell you why later on. But Deuteronomy 29. Deuteronomy 29. Let's see. I'm gonna start with. Let's see. I'm gonna hit verse 1 for the context, family. Deuteronomy 29, verse 1. It reads, "These are the words of the covenant." All right, the covenant being an agreement which is still binding right now between two parties, like a contract. I said, "These are the words of the covenant which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. And Moses called unto all Israel." So look at that. You know what I mean? As we paying attention to that, he said he called all Israel. He ain't called the whole world. I said, "And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that the Most High did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh, and unto all his servants, and unto all his land. The great temptations which thine eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. Yet the Most High have not given you an heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day." All right, so I'm gonna jump down though. So we understand now it's a covenant between the Creator, the Most High, and Israel. Verse 9 says, "Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do." All right, so the covenant or the basis of the agreement was, if y'all keep my commandments, I'm gonna bless y'all. But if y'all disobey, y'all break my commandments, I'm gonna curse y'all. Y'all gonna suffer. All right. Verse 10 says, "Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood unto the drawer of the water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Most High thy power, and into his oath, which the Most High thy power maketh with thee this day." Verse 13, "That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, that he may be unto thee a power, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob." And he get real specific because we see in the lineage and the pedigree, this is who the Most High made the first agreement with. Said Abraham was called his friend. He said, "All right, Abraham, because you move like that, you got so much faith like that, man, I didn't bless you. I'm gonna allow this blessing to pass down to your seed." So a lot of time we talk about generational curses. We don't talk about generational blessings though. We got to start talking about that because it's very real. And our enemies, these Gentiles, these heathens, and even some of our own having Gentile and heathenistic mindsets, they know this and they want to prevent it. They want to try to obstruct the generational blessing. That's why they try to convince us or influence us to do evil. Today, 2020, man, trying to keep the commandments of the Most High is a challenge. You hear me? Definitely in Babylon and all over the earth. Sin so accessible. You know what I mean? And within it, the judgment being set already for Satan in the dark serpent kingdom, already being set for them. They trying to get as many other people on board to suffer it. What they say, misery love company. But he already know what's gonna go on with him. He just trying to get you to burn with it. That's all. I was going back to the script. Unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, verse 14. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Most High our power, and also with him that is not here with us this day. All right, so I'm going here because right here, this is what we finding out that the covenant, it wasn't just something that happened in the OT, in the Old Testament. Now he said this covenant is made between our ancestors as well as those that weren't present, those who weren't even born yet. This thing about bloodline. So when people talk about what is an Israelite, this for those who may be looking on who not familiar with this. Your first time, checking in with us and hearing this. When we talk about Israelites, and I'm not no black Hebrew Israelite. Let me get that clear. You can't be a black Hebrew Israelite. Israelites, Hebrews, they already melanated. They brown anyhow. So it ain't no need for me to say black Hebrew Israelite. But when we talk about Israelite, we're talking about bloodline, we're talking about culture, we're talking about heritage. We're talking about inheritance. The Chinese, they have the Chinese New Year. Chinese have Chinese cuisines that they consume, certain foods. Chinese have certain Chinese apparel, the way that they dress, the long little shine and stuff. Within a culture, you see the dragons, you got the chopsticks. People even relate to them karate, kung fu. They automatically associate that with Chinese. So what I'm telling you, if you don't know that, what I'm telling y'all, those who are new to the information, our true custom before they told us we were just slaves brought over here to America or whatever. Before them, our culture and custom, we are Israelites. We Hebrews. All right. So let me get something else real quick though. Let me get something else really, really quick. So I mentioned, we can write this down for the precept. You got your pen, your pad, taking notes. I made mention of Gentiles being enemies. A lot of us don't feel like or don't know that we got enemies. We think everybody's our friend. We think we got to be cool with everybody. We're trying to save everybody, but we ain't trying to save ourselves. So let's go to Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 5. Man, Kanaz, man, hey, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, King. Malaya Yada, Shabbat Shalom. Annie Gators, Sister Weezy, Shabbat Shalom, sir. John Ezra, Shabbat Shalom. Peace and blessing to y'all and y'all households. All right, Nehemiah 5 and 9. And if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you now. I don't come on to please nobody. You know what I'm saying? I see people checking in, checking out. I'm not talking to please you, to appease you. Listen, I got a job to do, a mission that I was given. If I don't do it, I'm getting punished. Hey, after I get a word to you, it's on you. Nehemiah 5 and 9, it says, also I said, it is not good that you do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our power because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? I let you know, these heathens, they are enemies. All right, and they can go into another dynamic that I don't want to really talk about right now. But Luke 1:6, that just surface level. We got enemies out here. Like I said, they can be natural born Gentiles, and we even have enemies of our own. Israelites who have a Gentile mindset. You know what I mean? They ain't it's no exception. Say use who you want to, Israelite or not. All right. So before we proceed any further though, I did want to share some information since we are in a season where brothers and sisters celebrating memorial blowing of trumpets. The purpose of it. Let's go to Numbers 10. Numbers chapter 10. The purpose of it, the shofar. How do we get to this point? What is the importance of it? Why do we use it? Why are you seeing brothers, out here with these ram's horns, sounding them out? Excuse me. Nehemiah chapter 10. Salaki, Numbers 10, Salaki. All right, let me grab this here. All right, so I have this one here. Got another one too. But you got the shofar. All right. One of the relics of our history. This is a part of the heritage that I was mentioning as Israelites, something that we had within our culture. You know, so this here, very powerful instrument tool. If you don't have one, I do suggest that you get one. Have one of these, and we're gonna go over why. So Numbers 10, I'm starting with verse 1. It says, "And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps." So we don't have the pure silver, but as we rehearsing these righteous acts, you know what I mean? This is what we're doing. As we rehearsing the righteous act, we're trying to get closest to it as possible. You know what I mean? We pray today. We're looking forward for the day when we will be able to have trumpets made of pure silver. All right. But he said it's for the calling of the assembly. There's one purpose of it, and for the journeying of the camps. There's another purpose. Verse 3. "And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes, which are the heads, so like which are heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee." So understand this, we're going into the order that our people had, an order that we trying to return to. But like I was talking about earlier, lacking that compassion for our neighbors, we won't be able to get in order like this, Israel family. We won't be able to see this blessing. It'll be such a blessing to be unified like this. And not under the banner of talking about some Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Not under the banner pushing the agenda of talking about some sodomites out here with rainbow flags and Daisy Dukes on. Men leg hairy as them all, but they out here with some skirts on, man. Disgusting. Not for that type of unifying. But I'm talking about unifying under the banner of keeping these commandments of the Most High, man. Unifying, knowing who we are, and actually loving one another. No, really having love. A lot of people don't have it. But it said if they blow, but with one trumpet, it said, then the princes, which are heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves on together. So the order is, that means the princes had to understand, what does it mean when I hear one shofar? The people within the land had to understand, what does it mean when they blow it one shofar? Because it told you before, it said that, look, when you blow it, all of the assembly is supposed to come. So we're seeing that it's order and understanding, not only between those who blowing the shofar, but the people who hear the shofar. And there's power right there. Verse 5, it says, "When ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward." Blow that alarm, the ones that's on the east, they already know. It's time for us to move. Ain't nobody else moving. Verse 6, "When ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets. And they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations." So this thing's supposed to continue on. Verse 9, "And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppress of you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Most High your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies." There's power right there. See, this is another reason why we get disconnected from our heritage. And you know, the enemies, they don't want us partaking in music. All right, but in the case where we do partake in it, guess what they do? They say, well, we're gonna direct and control what they do with the music. We're gonna control what they talk. You wanna make millions out talking to the people. You wanna rap, you wanna sing, you wanna play the guitar, you wanna play the trombone, saxophone. But guess what? Sign this contract to what type of music you play, or what type of songs you make and sing that we promote. Yeah, that's what it's about. All right, verse 10 says, "Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power. I am the Most High, your power. All right, so that's the significance of it. All right, is more on it. Matter of fact, let's go to Joshua 6. Let's dig into it some more. But we see the Most High said, look, when you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppress you, if you blow that shofar, you blow that trumpet, say, I remember you before your enemies. We need that. We want that. Father, don't forget us. Be with us as we war and fight to defend our families, our wives, our children, ourselves, and our estate. All right, but Joshua chapter 6. Agwan, man, Shabbat Shalom, King. Peace and blessing to you, huh? All right, Joshua chapter 6. Oh, let's get verse 1 for the context. It says, now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in, had to sit on lockdown. And the Most High said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thy hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall come past the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. So 6 days, y'all gonna go around this city one time. Verse 4. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. I'm gonna read that again. It said, and 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day ye shall come past the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. So the Most High said, look, even before the ark of the covenant, as y'all going around this city one time for 6 days, on the 7th day, you're gonna go around this same city 7 times. But before the ark of the covenant, you're gonna have 7 priests with ram's horns. They're gonna go before the ark of the covenant, and they shall blow with the ram's horns. All right, blow the trumpets. Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Most High. And he said unto the people, pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Most High. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Most High, and blew with the trumpets. And the ark of the covenant of the Most High followed them. All right, and the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets. And the reward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpet. So in this case, where we even saw this miracle work, family, we see that this instrument came into play. This thing here came into play, man. You know what I mean? Power is power in our heritage. This is why they work so hard. They spend billions of dollars. They had to control the media. They had to set themselves up and do the iconoclasm to be the image of the Israelites, to be the image of Hamashiach, the Messiah. This is why they have to oppress us so much and put so much energy into it. This is why they had to come up with these think tanks. They like, man, if these folks reconnect with their true heritage, man, it's over for us. You know what I mean? When you read in the book of Jubilees, it tell you, it say that when all Israel repent, it'll be no more Satan. That's what it say in Jubilees. Now I understand, everybody don't read that book. Edification is edification. And on that note, the scripture lets you know, work out your own salvation. So if it's going to strengthen you to fortify your strength in the walk, hey, if it's making you do better and draw you closer to the Most High, more power to you. That's what it did for me. All right, let me see. I think I got something else on there. I don't. It was I know it was one verse talking about. Well, let's do it like this. Let's go to 1 Samuel. We're gonna see some more power about it. We ain't even jumped into the message yet, but it's just for edification. 1 Samuel 16. Let's go there. So aside from the ram's horn, but still, then you know the power of the instruments. All praise to the Most High. All right, 1 Samuel 16. I'm gonna start with verse 14. 1 Samuel chapter 16, starting with verse 14. All right, it says, "But the spirit of the Most High departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him. And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold now, an evil spirit from a higher troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command our servants which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High is come upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well." All right, so they let him know, like, man, this evil spirit, it didn't come from Satan, it came from the Most High. And that's what's happening too. What we get into the message too. A lot of these brothers and sisters out here operating that hateful spirit, that malicious spirit, lacking the compassion for the people. They not really teaching to save the souls, man. They teaching to hoard the soul to themselves, to show what they know, to look like they powerful. Some people using the truth as a escape route, where in the world you were some kind of square and lane, but now in the truth you want to present yourself to act like you some kind of gangster or tough guy, seeking attention. You know what I mean? That pride and knowledge puffing folks up left to right, man. You know what I'm saying? And even with that, not understanding, man, some of these folks, they got an evil spirit on them from the Most High, man. The Most High done took the anointing from these folks. He done took their Holy Spirit from them, and now they operate with a reprobate mind. We don't want to be like that. We want to be hearkening, listening, halting, and yielding to the Most High, man. Steadily repenting. Every day is a day to repent. You know what I'm saying? Every day is a day to strive harder. You might have failed earlier. Some people have transgressed and failed on the Shabbat. Get up, look in the mirror, pray about it, and let's strive to get this thing right, man. He gave us another day to correct it. All right. Going back to the script, verse 17 says, "And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me." Verse 18, "Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen the son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in play, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Most High is with him." So understand this, man. Like I'm saying, you got some people thinking that to play a violin, you soft. You got some people thinking that in order to deliver the gospel and the truth to the masses, you gotta be hollering. You gotta be bucked up, chest all out, screaming. And man, look, I'm trying to tell you, man, the truth in the matter, if you understand it, he said, "My sheep know my voice." You ain't gotta holler. You can whisper the truth. If they got ears for it, if they sincere and they listening for the most, they looking for the Most High like that, man, you can whisper it, they gonna receive that, man. It don't take you beating them across the head. Anybody who you feel like you gotta fight with them and convince them day in and day out to receive it, it must not be in them, king. It must not be in them, queen. Let that go. Let them folk be who they are. Because anybody who in this truth who can attest to it, listen, when I came into the fold, it didn't require somebody else to tell me to go study. It didn't require somebody else to tell me to, man, put them fringes on your shirt. Let your beard grow. It didn't require it. I was proactive about that. I made the decision, I'm gonna do this if nobody ain't doing it. I don't care who not doing it. You feel me? But people don't do that though, because they not really sincere. They not really sincere, man. All right, but going forth, verse 19 said, "Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread and a bottle of wine and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. All right, so understand that too, King. Understand that too, Queen. Look, man, this music, man, we not just listen. Everything is spiritual. You got people out here who, in the truth, or go bump some of these worldly music and thinking that they cool. Man, it's spirits coming out their music, man. It's spirit coming through those vibrational sounds. You know what I mean? You got brothers and sisters who they married. This dude in the side, he want to go listen to Future or somebody else who talking about their wife cheating, and guess what? Now their mindset and got into their man. He looking at his wife sideways like, I don't know, she might be doing something behind my back. Or she looking at him like, this Negro, I don't trust him. Now you got trust issues coming into your relationship because of what you listening to. Because the spirit you didn't open, the door you didn't open to those spirits, evil spirits. You know what I mean? So we want to be saturating ourselves within what's holy. Holy music. Whether we watching a movie or something, we can't be watching it with no corner eyes. All right, 1 Corinthians 15:33 tell you, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. All right. It was something else that just came to mind. Can't think of it. But nonetheless, that's what it is. So we want to be cognizant and aware of this. So, Father, help me. We'll sound this off one time. Come on, I'll pray to the Most High. That's how we're gonna start our Shabbats off. We're gonna start the holy days off. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're gonna start off the gatherings and the convocation. All right, and just even on a note to just be practicing, period. That's what we want to do. So I'll pray to the Most High. Something else that I want to get. I tell you what, so let me share something. Applying this Sirach 5:15. Says, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great. So let me share my screen for a minute, family. Application window, my Chrome tab. Let's see. Let me share this right quick.
Let's back up to coronavirus for just a second with some breaking news. The CDC has notified public health officials across the country to get ready to possibly, distribute a coronavirus vaccine as soon as late October or early November of this year. That's according to the New York Times. This vaccine would theoretically be available to healthcare workers and to other high-risk groups. Now, both Dr. Anthony Fauci and FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn have said a vaccine might be available for certain groups before the clinical trials are fully completed if the data is overwhelmingly positive. So we're not talking about a phase 3 trial approved vaccine. We're talking about an emergency use authorization. Now, of course, the timing of this raised concerns that the administration is trying to speed up distributing a vaccine for political purposes. We all know what's coming in late October and early November.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSN.
We all know what's coming in late October and early November. So they hinted the fact that they know it's gonna be what they call a second wave, all right? But what we focusing on, fam, they saying that, listen, they saying that they got a vaccine that could be released as early as next month, all right? What does this mean for Hebrew? What does this mean for Israelites? We understand, man, that they want to force the vaccination on, even what he said, it'll be prepared for certain groups. This certain group is Israelites, man. This is why you had Melinda Gates and Bill Gates talking about Listen, when we roll the vaccine out, hey, the black people need to get it first. The so-called black people, the Israelites, say they need to get it first. Why we need to get it first? This is why they was talking about on the news. I want to say it was Fox, one of those branches, talking about far the school system, saying that the non-whites should go back to school first, whereas the white children will be basically, I want to say, commanded to stay at home until the coronavirus passes over. Why are they singling out us? Why are they singling out the Israelites? Because again, what we talked about earlier, they understand who we are. It's just enough of us that don't understand who we are. They know that we the greatest threat to this kingdom, this wicked kingdom. All right, because once we line up with the Most High, it's over with for them. They know that. All right, but nonetheless, let's get some more. You don't take that poison. Don't take that, man. Do not take that poison. You right, Sister Weezy. No, don't take no vaccination. You know what I mean? Even outside of this, you know what I'm saying? We see through the research, you had a Gentile, the health ranger, bringing out the information, letting people know, like they literally coming up with these vaccines and different types of immunization shots to kill off so-called black people, specifically for us. You know what I mean? So we talking about warfare that's not just in what they put into the pipeline for water, what they put in the foods, what they promoting on the TV and the billboards. Now we talking about even when you go to these doctors, you're dealing with witches and warlocks. You're dealing with the KKK members who hate us. You're dealing with them who, instead of the white hood, they got on the white jacket. You know what I mean? And they saying, hey man, I tell you what, you need this. What you need? I am.
Yeah, my name's Kendall. I'm with Vivid. We're doing all the cameras and alarms in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Just popping by. Do you guys have an alarm for that one?
Yeah, we have one.
Awesome. Who do you guys end up with?
Really, I don't want to share that information.
That's fine. Basically, I'm just letting people know if you're not here, speak your neighbors, sometimes some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Asking you guys to go sign ups, the surveillance, things
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
A lot of
Okay.
your neighbors have us. Basically, if you're willing to help us out, we'll get you the system.
Yeah.
We'll cover the doors when there's motion, get you guys in your 4K doorbell camera,
Right,
installation, for activation, $50 a month.
Yeah.
Police, fire, and medical.
Yeah. It's okay, man.
You guys chill?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Sure. Quick question. Do you know any of your neighbors who maybe just moved in?
Nah.
I'd be able to help on that here.
I don't.
All right, sure.
All right.
You take care. You have a good day.
You too. Nonetheless, family. So we got it to where, you know, even with that, you know what I mean, he walked up hollering about security system. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if these folk want to put in security system just to watch us. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, they tell you it's for your protection. Hey, we got security. You know what I'm saying? We just sounded out their shofar. You know what I mean? We covered in the blood of the Messiah. The household is protected by angels that you don't even see. But nonetheless, where I was going with that, you know, we being killed off many ways, brothers and sisters, in every type of field, on every type of table. All right. Now, where was I going with it? Oh yeah, the vaccination thing. Don't get vaccinated. No, that's the point that I'm driving. Don't get vaccinated. It's something else that I wanted to show too. Oh yeah, let's look at the. Let me share my screen again. So this is one of the things that's happening behind, you know, the results of this coronavirus. This is what's happening, family.
Hello. Constable, need to come to the door.
From one Houston home to the next.
Hello, Constable.
Deputy Benny Gant with the Harris County Constable's Office executes judge's orders to evict.
Hello, Constable.
We ain't got nowhere to go.
Israel Rodriguez is the tenant at this apartment, but he's not alone. 20-month-old Israel,
Rodriguez,
his brother, 4-year-old Fabian, and their mother are some of the estimated 40 million Americans facing eviction in the downward spiral of the COVID economy.
They didn't rush us, but they were like, get everything.
Now, look, real quick though, fam. Look, this show you how much they care about us, how much they care about people. if you understand that this thing's supposed to be to the bottom out the country, and people that lost their jobs, people that lost their marriages, you know, and people that lost their children, lost their lives behind this thing, right? Why is it that people getting evicted? If you know these people, you know, it's only certain jobs, they call it essential workers, is actually working. How can you go put somebody out their house, out of their home, when they don't even have the means to even provide for themselves? They don't care.
Rodriguez admits he hasn't been paying rent, behind thousands of dollars.
It's my fault in the eviction. It was a lot going on during the corona. When it hit, I lost my job. So it took me like a month to get another job. This is my check, but I ain't making it with $300. It's literally $300.
Their stroller now carries their possessions.
It's mainly the kids' clothes because me and her just wear the same clothes almost every day. Make sure we got, toilet paper and a little bit of snacks for the kids.
What are you gonna do with all of your stuff?
That's trash. They can throw it in the trash because we don't have a car, we don't have help, we don't have nobody that can come, help us out right now. Nobody. We got ourselves. Me and the kids.
They didn't put them out, man.
How does you as law enforcement feel about seeing that family have to go?
Oh, that's a tough situation. I've got 6 kids, 6 children. And, the kids see the mom and dad in desperate situations. It's tough. That's clear.
Deputy Gant, an officer for 35 years, is just starting his day. 8 evictions are on his list.
A co-defendant is here, 2 of them.
At each stop, people behind on rent are ordered to leave. Possessions pulled out.
Where are you guys gonna go now?
We're going to a hotel.
You can go to a hotel.
As Deputy Gant works through his list, we get word that 200 eviction orders have come through the Harris County courts for this week. That's
200.
double what they normally saw for an entire month before COVID.
200 on Monday.
200.
What does that?
Well, that's a lot, yeah.
What does that say to you?
Well, what that means is that they're ready to start having people removed from properties.
It is a backlog, but it's also just one precinct in one of America's hardest hit cities in evictions. The job takes its toll.
I don't really want to put her out here, but I have to under this judge's order.
At this apartment, the tenant is an elderly woman who can no longer afford the rent.
Listen though, family. He said 200 orders was sent out and said there was double, if I'm not mistaken, of the number or even triple of what was, ordered before COVID hit. So they put more people out. They sending the order out more during this thing that they supposed to say this pandemic. They understand people can't work. Why are you sending out more orders than before the time, that the COVID even hit? I guess they'll say because people were working then. But nonetheless, you're supposed to understand that they don't have a means to provide for themselves.
The landlord's mover, Francisco Munoz, works, though he doesn't want to.
I have a family. I have a sister. I have my mom. And we never know. Maybe today is her, tomorrow's me,
Midway through the eviction, Deputy Gant decides it's too dangerous to evict her in the Houston summer heat.
I'm not going to put her out here in this heat.
And will call social services instead.
Wednesday today, but tomorrow you're leaving.
A one-day reprieve with an uncertain tomorrow.
You have a situation where people aren't working, they don't have the money, and they're desperate.
Indeed. So check this out too, family. This could be what I'm looking at. If I'm not mistaken, breezed across the information some time ago. I forget which city it was, but they had sent out, they made it, I want to say it was a law. That if you didn't take the vaccination, I know her reason, they said if you didn't, in certain places, if you don't take the vaccination, you can be sent to jail. Also, but in other places where you didn't take the vaccination, you can get evicted. And it take us back into second entrance. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna be, we're gonna see who the Most High's chosen is when it comes down to where you can't, you don't have a house to live in. We gotta be pilgrims in the land. That's the time that we're gonna be going into. the pretext, and it's closer than ever. Like what we just saw, they said they got the vaccination ready as early as October, and it didn't even go through a phase 3 testing. You know what I mean? Which they set it up in different ways to where this group of people take it, see how they respond, and then they gradually get to the point to where it's accepted. So they rolling this thing out with uncertainty. All right, so what could that do to the human body? All right, definitely is it's terrible. It is terrible. Okay, Uriah Israel said November 1st, vaccines will be pushed. Phase 1, essential workers. Phase 5, all the U.S. Okay. Ak, if you got that information, if you got a link or anything, drop that in the comments for us. Drop that in the comments for us. Indeed, martial law is coming. FEMA camps is coming. Yehuda Israel said, and this is just one family. Imagine the thousands experiencing the same situation. Stay prayed up, Israelites. Con. All right. Living by the way said, get a small piece of land. Indeed, I know I made a statement some time ago talking about the stimulus checks. And it probably had been misunderstood by some. But my mind state behind it was that those who are receiving stimulus checks, if you have like-minded individuals around you, if possible, you put that together to go get some land. You know what I'm saying? To get out the way as much as possible. I know everybody don't feel like they need to do that. But those who have the mindset to do it, I won't be the one to tell you that you don't need to get out the city. I won't be that person. All right, Aqua, the water king. The water. I'm finna get there what you got. Milan Sterling says, speaking of the vaccine, my employer has made it mandatory to take C19 tests. I'm prepping to leave it. Come, got dog. You see where we at. All right, I'll go on second. Ezra 16, verse 72-73 says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Indeed, man, this is what we talking about. And if fire gonna hit the house of Israel first. If fire gonna hit the house of the Most High first. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we talking about, man. We got to be really checking ourselves, really fighting in this hour, man. Fighting the inner man needs to be purified. You know, you got people who you can come on a YouTube and teach all day. You can hit the streets all day, put out all the music. You can be the best person to come up with the Israelite garments and clothing, and you got incense, you got Israelite jewelry, selling menorahs left and right. Man, look, and be the person who got an unforgiving heart. Guess what? After all that, man, when you get judged, it ain't gonna matter. You're not gonna get in. So we gotta be purifying the inner man and the inner woman, leaving from the point of where so many get tangled up into, you know what I mean, how other people perceive them, which there has a play within the walk. There has a play. We're gonna get there too, but nonetheless, your main focus and concern of how somebody see it should be the Most High. Indeed. So let's go with what was I finna? Oh yeah, one more. Let me get something else for us. Since we are going into 9/11, I want to share this too. Listen to what the children, the sight words that the children have. Let me go here.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. King. Yes, sound it out. Get ready. King. Sound it out. Get ready. King. What word? Kit. Yes, kit. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Seal. What word? Seal. Yes, seal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Playing. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Seal. Yes, Still. Get ready. Plain. Yes, plain. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Or you go speak your reader up from under your seat.
Okay. Now this right here, this is what your boy George Bush was doing. This is where he was at the day, you know what I mean, the attack of 9/11 took place. All right. When the guy come and whisper in his ear like, hey, plane's been hijacked, so on and so forth. To those families who dealt with, you know what I mean, the ramification that came behind that event. My condolences. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of times these things, they be false, but the results of them be real. So like what I'm saying, those who we don't believe that coronavirus is a real issue. We don't believe that it's an actual, you know, sickness or plague like that on one fold that is actually killing people. We believe that they killing people. All right, but in the case where we say we not worried about coronavirus, the effects of it real because we saw that because of this thing, they shut down all types of businesses. People lost their jobs, so on and so forth, because of this thing. So with 9/11, it being an inside job, I see it as a giant sacrifice of souls. We know this thing was set up because look at what the sight words of the children. It said one of the words was kite, K-I-T-E, steel, it's, and then it said plane must. The plane must hit the steel. And we know within somewhere within, you know, the media found what they were talking about, how the buildings actually a plane shouldn't have collapsed in the way that they did. They were talking about the steel beams and posts. The building was actually made to withstand something like that. All right, but so I just wanted to share this since we're going into this thing where they tell us, remember 9/11, never forget. But turn around and tell us, hey, don't worry about the history of what y'all came from. Hey, let bygones be bygones. That's the past, man. Talking about slavery, man, just get over it. Get past it. It don't matter. It's the past. Well, let us let go 9/11 too. Let us stop celebrating the Holocaust of these fake Jews. If that's the case, you know what I mean? If you talking about don't worry about the past. All right, but nonetheless, if we should not worry about the past, the next one of us brothers or sister that does a crime, don't go back and say, well, in second grade he stole a piece of candy from the corner store. Don't go back into our past if it's gonna be like that. All right, but we see the hypocrisy of this wicked world, man. It's against us, family. It is against us. All right, so let me share the screen again. This is something else we definitely got to be cognizant about. We're talking about monitoring our children and the actions of our children. Excuse the language. If you got children in the room, I'll say, get them out the room right now, because the brother's gonna use some vulgar language. He's gonna be cursing. Let me give y'all a minute for that. Get the children out the room. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. Here we go, right here. Parents beware, Fortnite allows adult material and father catches his son playing it. Now watch this.
Bro, this is on fucking Fortnite. The kid is playing fucking Fortnite. This shit say fucking Pornhub.
You see that?
Then this shit say X videos. What the fuck, man? That shit crazy as fuck. Look, he trying to kill it. Take the pee out, Brandon. They won't let him. Oh, they will let you shoot it. God damn. Fortnite fucked up. Damn, this is what they got the kids doing. Oh, you can shoot it down. That shit crazy. Them up.
See that, family? You see what they got the children being exposed to? One of the most popular games. But what's on Fortnite? What it say in the background? I don't even want to repeat it. You saw it. So what? How would that affect the child? What in their mind they say, hey, look, let me go see what this is about. What is this? Even like I was thinking some time ago, coming up as children, You know, watching movies where they may show somebody smoking a cigarette or drinking. You know, when I thought about it, I said, man, one time as a child, I tried to smoke a cigarette. And it was based off me seeing these movies, these folks smoking cigarettes. It made me say, let me try it. It influenced me. All right, so that goes into what I'm talking about. Guarding our eye gates, our ear gates. Even got the guard, you know, your nose smells can get you into some trouble too. All right. But nonetheless, man, this is where we at, family. We gotta tighten up on every side, man. Pray for me as I pray for y'all. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no problem with us praying together. You know what I mean? So even with the holy days at hand, and where I'm feeling, it's a time for us, definitely. We're going to keep preaching and teaching the word. But, man, we need to get somewhere and really, man, just cry out to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Really just lay down, man, just praying. Father, have mercy. You know what I'm saying? We need some strongholds to be destroyed and broken. We need deliverance. And there's something that within Israel, a lot of people not even, you know what I'm saying, they don't care about it. They don't see it. They don't want it. They think it's all about understanding and knowing precept upon precept. You want to shoot out the knowledge and say, I know what this book is and what is it. I got the breakdown on this. I got the breakdown on that. But what strongholds and yokes really being destroyed out here, man? You got people who broken out here. I'm talking about terribly. They understand the word. They know the word to be true. But when they lay down at night, man, they still hunted with the thoughts of being molested. They still hunted with the thoughts of being abused as a child and through their life. You know what I mean? This man still dealing with the fact that, you know, his children was taken from him. Or like what I seen before, I think it was a year ago, you had it to where, man, this couple, they were separated. Their child died, and the mother of the child, can't really call her mother, didn't even want the daddy to come see the child at the funeral. Called the police on the man. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, you know what I'm saying? In that case, people dealing with real life situations that's terrible, man. You know, people that are dealing with suicidal thoughts. They are dealing with depression. You know what I'm saying? And the way to get that, man, we got to really be toiling for souls. We got to really be on our face before the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to really be praying and fasting, warring with these demons, man. And we got all type of distractions. Some people distracted right now with trying to gain a foot in the world. You know what I'm saying? Your focus right now, you know the commandments. You saying you're an Israelite, but you more focused on trying to get your own business started. It's fine. You know what I mean? We still got to live day to day, but don't let that take preeminence over the Most High. You got some people, they more focused on this man, more concerned with finding a wife. This woman is more concerned with finding a husband. Guess your top concern in these days and times, listen, you got to realign your priorities. You know what I'm saying? We need to be focused more on the Most High. Understanding, yeah, we want to be complete. We want to feel whole. You know what I'm saying? We do want to have that soulmate or that spouse to help us and to be a lead to, a guide to, a head to. But nonetheless, man, let the Most High bring that thing on. There's a lot of separation going on right now. That's ordained by the Most High. It's some separation going on that need to be happening. Because the people who we linking ourselves in with, they either slowing us down or contending with us, or they not serious. You know what I'm saying? And on the flip side, we the people slowing somebody else down. And we not serious enough. So the Most High like, hey, I need y'all to pause. Let him or let her go forth to do my work. Don't you get entangled with something else that's going to slow you down. You know what I'm saying? We got to be all flowing at the pace together, proactively wanting this time. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, man, you know, this is where we at today. I think I had something else to show y'all. Oh yeah. So on the subject, just in case we got some new ears and new eyes to tune in. A little bit more on 9/11, you know. And we still ain't even jumped into today's message. All right, so we talking about Aaron Russo. He dead now. Same guy who produced a good movie to watch. Definitely while we woke. You know, while we got our eyes open. Trading Places. Go watch that movie. I will listen to what Aaron Russo say, fam.
You met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event. And out of that event, we're going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to invade Iraq, you know, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened. And I remember he was telling me how how you're going to see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places. And there's going to be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy. And the whole thing is a giant hoax, you know, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He said it was a way, it was the pretext for the government to take over the American people. So understanding this, that the whole attack, it was an inside job to get citizens to voluntarily give over, you know what I mean, their privacy. Like, okay, they hijacked the plane. Because from it, now we seeing, it take me back to the movie, what is it? Enemy of the State, I think. I think Enemy of the State. This what nowadays when we talking on the phone, you can't talk on the phone without hearing some kind of echo. I get on the phone sometimes, I hear other people talking. I'm like, man, hold up. I hear another conversation on my phone while I'm talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? This was to happen. This another part of why they got the plasmas, these eyes that people going about, and they had their sales throughout the season. We got a 65-inch for $300. Yeah, they want to put that eye in the house to watch you. This is why when you watching Netflix, you might doze off. You wake up and it say, "Are you still watching?" Or you might be playing the PS4. I'm not sure about the Xbox, but you might doze off on playing the game maybe, and you wake up and the game off. Nobody could have, or the TV itself is off. This is what happened, right? That was the pretext as they invade our privacy for, you know, what we doing on our phones and our daily life. That was the setup to where now we head into the time with these vaccines. They're gonna invade the body altogether, a person's body. This is what links in with the Neuralink with Elon Musk. This is what we talking about. You know, the people giving over themselves. Basically, you yielding to the beast system. This is what they want. You know what I mean? They just set it up.
There's no question. He says, there's going to be war on terror. And he's laughing. Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11 were able to can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people and to subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do. That's what it's about, and to create this war, this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie And the next slide was going into Iraq, you know, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. That was the next slide.
Now, specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago.
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend.
Okay. So, you know, you can check out the rest of their interview. You can check out the rest of their interview, you know, online. But what we was extracting from it is how it was an inside job. You know what I mean? This man telling us, Nick Rockefeller had already told him, like, look, it's gonna be an event. We're gonna do such and such. 11 months before September 11, 2001 happened. All right. Now, let's get into the message. So, judgment beginning at the house of the Most High. Judgment beginning at the house of the Most High. So let's go to 1 Peter. 1 Peter 4. So now what I'm saying, family, is this is the time for us to check ourselves. What is it? Ask yourself. What is it about you that needs to be fixed, that needs to be perfected? What is it about you yourself that is contrary to the Most High? It's against the Most High. What is it? You know, and once we figure that out, if we real with ourselves, because everybody got something. If you don't think there's nothing wrong, hey, listen, I can't even deal with you. All right, but in the case where we identify what's wrong, let's hone in on that thing, brothers and sisters. Let's focus on it and focus on mastering it. All right, but 1 Peter 4, verse 17, it says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of a higher. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? All right, so if the judgment gonna start with us, let's keep going. Verse 18 says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of the Most High commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. All right, so when we understanding this, what we checking out, man, if the righteous gonna scarcely be saved, that means it's a small nucleus of the righteous that even be saved. We talking about the ones who actually doing what need to be done in order to get the kingdom. Where would an ungodly and a sinner appear? We read in Edges where it tells us the Most High said, as a drop is compared to a wave. Said that's what the salvation gonna look like. He said, as the grape is to the cluster. He said, hey, reserve that small grape for me. And y'all excuse the sound. All right, but nonetheless, man, this is what we need to be looking into. Checking ourselves, man. We in a time right now, I've been telling people, we really ain't got to do too much fighting and you know what I mean, trying to convey the message to people that we are God's chosen people. We the children of Israel. They didn't shook the media with Nick Cannon. They didn't shook the media with that. Anybody who was not exposed to, you know, they didn't care about entertainment for comedy or movies or anything. They just were straight sports heads. Guess what? They got exposed to it through Sports Center when the guy said it. I can't think of what his name was. But when that guy said that we the children of Israel. All right, so the Most High made it to where his word is true. His word don't come a void. He said this gospel gonna be preached into all the earth, and then the end shall come. So it ain't gonna be nobody gonna say, man, we didn't know that these so-called Negroes was the chosen. We didn't know that. Now everybody gonna know that. Everybody gonna hear it, but when people hear it, it's their choice to say, I'm an Israelite. Okay, what's required of me after I find out this? Now I know that I'm an Israelite. What next? You know what I mean? It's contingent upon each individual. But The time it just told us judgment gonna begin at the house of the Most High. So when we understand it, man, what is it that we dealing with? The different things that we dealing with of why people will not make it into the kingdom, or you will suffer the grievous judgment. Let's go to Matthew 13. So this is something that I'm seeing as well. Matthew 13. Matthew chapter 13. Let's see what I want there. Yeah. We got time. We need as much of the word as we can get. I'm gonna start with 1. Matthew 13, verse 1. It says, the same day went Yeshua out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. All right. So it's so many people, he couldn't even stand on a bank with these people. So we want to talk about mega church. That's what it really looked, and that was the sincere real one. You know what I mean? We know Hamashiach wasn't teaching no crap. Verse 3 though, it says, and he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And let me stop for a second. Come, take my time. Thank you. I needed to see that. So even now, brothers and sisters, we got some feeling that the focus should be trying to convince those of the Kemet or Egyptologist persuasion, even the atheists. We out here fighting tooth and nail to convince these folks that we the people. Brothers and sisters, we ain't got time for that. You drop the word and you move. They don't receive it. It said, he that is of the Most High, heareth the Most High's words. So if we talking about, okay, now I understand that people get fortified in the faith from debates. But as far as that being the sole focus right now, no. That ain't what it needs to be. We need to be focusing, like I said, looking in the mirror, checking ourselves, you know what I mean, and striving to get these yokes destroyed. You know what I mean? We wrestling with different types of demons every day, man. And we'll go and put another something else on our plate. Somehow I'm trying to. This dude made a post on Facebook talking about. I was telling my uncle about this. This man made a post of, you had a diagram, pictures, saying that everybody, all men start as women. So it had a part of the body showing that how it transforms from a female's reproductive organ into a male's reproductive organ. I laughed at that, family. I laughed at it. You know what I mean? I'm not even finna entertain nothing like that. If that's what you believe, hey, do your thing with it. Do your thing with it. Me, I'm on something else. I'm trying to get into these gates. I ain't got time for that. Believe what you want to. All right. But you got some who that's a distraction. Man, the destruction is on the way. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get in the gate. We want our names to be inscribed in the Lamb's Book of Life. We don't need nothing slowing down our pace and our morale. Let's roll, man. It's time to put that power to you know what I mean, put your feet to the pedal and power out. You know what I'm saying? Can't even hardly get it out. All right, but Matthew 13, let's go back to it. Verse 4, it says, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Verse 7, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some in 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. All right, and that's you see the approach that the Messiah take. Hey, you got ears on you. Everybody got. But if you can understand this, hey, it's for you. Take heed. Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. All right, so now I'm gonna jump down though. Let's get to the understanding of this parable. Verse 18 says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. All right, so some people, you know what I mean, we might be out there prophesying to the wind, or you prophesying and ministering over the social media or face to face with people. That person might leave that conversation not understanding, taking it back to where I started saying some people want to teach and show what they know. It's not about what you know. You are a servant to the Most High. You can't handle his word and his gift however you want to handle it. You got to yield to what he said. So if we sowing that seed, delivering that word, and we asking the Father, Holy Spirit, help me to call the remembrance on how to deliver this word. You know what I'm saying? If we do that, you know, it's going to go the way that it needs to go. But oftentimes, if we operate in our own volition and how we want to do it, the person might not understand it. Then when they leave that conversation, them not understand it, Satan come take that out their heart, man. All right, but let's keep going. Verse 20 says, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. So you got some that they hear that word, you know what I'm saying? And they happy to hear, I'm an Israelite, I'm chosen. This is it. This is the truth. They walking in the truth. You know what I mean? They keeping Shabbat. They striving. They convocating with the brothers. They done put down the pork. But guess what though? Once an issue comes, you might even have a disagreement within the body. You might have a problem with your moray or the elder or a brother and sister in the congregation. You know what I'm saying? And from that disagreement or that issue and problem, that person puts the whole truth down. That person right there say, or you feel like you just need somebody else to always be in your ear telling you to not eat the swine, telling you not to be celebrating these pagan days, these holidays. Now you got to be proactive about this thing. Win, lose, or draw by yourself. All right. Before we stop at verse, okay. Yeah, verse 22 said, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world. This is a big one right here. And the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. So you got some that hear the word, they hear the truth, but then they start saying, you know what? I want to get my own business started. Like I said earlier, and that become their main focus. Or they get the business and they say, well, you know, I'm gonna be getting money. Money is money, green is green. I need the cash. Money answers all things, brother. That's what they say. That's what the script say. And in doing so, they start to say, well, you know what? I'm gonna start sparing people's feelings behind this truth because I want customers and clients. No, we don't compromise on the word of the Most High. We don't compromise on it. Said the curves of the world, and even aside from it, like I said earlier, the opinion of other people. Like I said, you might be a brother or sister who you fail, you transgress, and your neighbor saw that, and so they want to say, how you gonna tell me, but and you doing such and such? So now you want to tone it down. No, listen, I'm not telling you what I want to say. I'm telling you what the Most High said. You got to take it up with him. If a crackhead tell you right now, he hitting the pipe, he's shooting up right now in your face, say, look, hey, young blood, don't do this. You see my teeth? Don't do this. You ain't gonna say, hey man, you can't tell me not to smoke crack. You doing it right now. Give me a rock. You ain't gonna do that. So likewise, when it comes to the truth, win, lose, or drought, man, the word is the word. All right, verse 23 said, but he that receives seed into good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. That's the kind that we want to be. And we know that we get understanding. It said, a good understanding have all they that do his command. Let me get that real quick. Let's go to Psalm real quick. The book of Psalms. The book filled with the Psalms. Okay, let's see. Psalm 111, verse 10. It says, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endure forever. All right, so we got to be exercising this time. We got to be doing it to get the understanding of it. All right, but we don't want to be those who get caught up with the cares of the world in this hour, brothers and sisters. It's too serious right now. You know what I mean? It's too serious. All right, let's go to Timothy. So another part of those cares and those concerns of the world, though. First Timothy. First Timothy chapter 6. Let's see. I'm gonna start with 5. First Timothy 6, verse 5. The water. Canaz, thank you, King. I says, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. All right, so those who even, you got so many people who think that a blessing is materialistic. It means that you got money. You got to have something to. If you don't have a lot, then the Most High must not be with you. Man, you fool, sadly, if you think that. Those who thinking that gain is godliness. No, because nothing we gain in this world is going with us to the dirt, brothers and sisters. We came in this world naked, we leaving with nothing. Same way, you know what I'm saying? And none of this stuff going, it was here before us and it's going to be here after us. All right, but continuing on, verse 6 says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So taking our eyes off the kingdom, taking our eyes off the Most High, you know what I'm saying, and starting to focus on what this world can offer us. See, by that means, many have pierced themselves through it with sorrows. And that's going to be the same distraction that causes brothers and sisters to bust hell wide open, thinking about this money. Why try to set up something, you know what I mean, in fullness and wholeheartedly in a kingdom that's falling? No, you know what I mean? Like I said, if you're going to start your business, start it with the mindset that we read in Ezra. If you're going to sell, understand this, you might not, it's a good chance you're not going to get that profit. The one that married, understand this, man, you probably not going to be able to have children. You're not going to really be able to enjoy that. You got to have the mindset is, man, all this stuff is temporary, man. But what's going to be for eternal? Which way we going when we give up the ghost? Which way we going when we stand before their throne, man? All right. Let's go to Sirach 41 though. So even in that case, this is tied right into that. Because judgment gonna begin at the house of the Most High. Sirach 41 and 12. Sirach 49, I'm gonna start with 11. The mourning of men is about their bodies, but an ill name of sinners shall be blotted out. Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold. All right, so our name, have regard to what is your reputation with the Most High? You know what I mean? What is the pattern that you leaving behind? What's the recognition that you have? What's your stilo? You know what I'm saying? What do people know you for? That matter. What's your reputation? You know what I'm saying? But past people, what is your reputation with the Most High, man? What does he think about what you do, the post that you make? You know what I mean? Because listen, you can make a post and it be for whatever purpose it is, but the Most High know if you making that post in sincerity to glorify him, to win a soul. You know what I mean? To gain a soul if it's for pride and your own reason. Have regard to your name. Ill name gonna be blotted out. You ain't gonna be in the Lamb's Book of Life. All right, let's go to Sirach 18 and 15 too. Sirach chapter 18, verse 15. Judgment gonna begin at the house of the Most High, man. It's gonna begin with us. Sirach chapter 18, verse 15 say, it says, my son, blemish not thy good deeds, neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything. All right, don't blemish your deeds with the Most High. You've been on a roll in righteousness, do that, keep that. That's what we want on our record. You know what I mean? That name will be a defense for you. That reputation will be a defense for you in the day of judgment. All right, but nonetheless, we got some who the reputation that they have is based off how men view them, being men pleasers, being woman pleasers, pleasing themselves. All right, and in that case, now you're gonna be in terrible shape when the time comes. All right, so Philippians 2, as a matter of fact, on that note, let's go to Philippians 2. I want to start with verse 20. All praise to the Most High. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Indeed, indeed. Bless y'all too. All right, Philippians chapter 2, verse 20 says, for I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state. Going into even what I'm talking about, brothers might be coming on to teach or whatever, and doing it just to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Not really caring about the state of the flock. You know what I mean? Not really caring about what is it that this person dealing with on the inside. You know what I'm saying? What they really dealing with is causing them, they striving to walk in this thing. You know what I mean? But they hurt, man. You have to have that compassion. The way it say Hamashiach was moved with compassion towards the multitudes. You know what I'm saying? He felt they hurt and pain. And from that part, that's when he began to work the miracles, laying hands on them, healing these folks, casting the devils and spirits out of these people. That's the works that we supposed to be putting in. All right, verse 21 says, for all seek their own, not the things which are Yeshua HaMashiach. All right, not the things of the Messiah. They seeking after their own thing. You know what I mean? Whatever they want to do. And in the case where judgment hit the house, listen, it's going to be terrible for those people. All right, so let me see. I had something else. Come. Let's see what I want, man. Let's go to John 6. John chapter 6. John 6, verse 38. Like I said, those who handling the word however they see that they want to handle. St. John chapter 6, verse 38. If we following out the example and the fashion of the Messiah, listen to what he said. He says, "For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me." All right, so the Messiah didn't come to do what he wanted to do. So what make you think you can do it however you want to do it? You know what I mean? You got the wrong mindset. When that judgment strike, where you gonna be? Like what he tells us in Revelation. He bringing his reward with him. So he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that's holy, let him be holy still. People out here dishonoring their parents, unthankful, without the natural affection. Like I said, you out here, you able to tell this brother, this sister, hey, look, where your fringes at? Where is your fringes? But meanwhile, you go to the house and curse your mom and your dad out. You holding a grudge against your mama for $25 that you loaned her 2 years ago that she didn't pay you back in time. You talking about, well, she knows she can't ask me for nothing. Pops know he can't ask me for nothing. He ain't paid me back my $20. And you think you finna get how you think the Most High feel about that? But you out here spot checking for fringes and beards and head wraps. You have to get serious, man. Out here the backbiters. Like I said, the people out here, you defaming people. You around here talking down on folks, being a false witness. Man, the Most High gonna deal with you. If I decide I want to do that, he gonna deal with me. All right, so because that judgment coming, family, what you gonna be when it comes? We talk about the Gentiles and the heathen and the destruction of these Gentiles, but he gonna rip Israel too. He gonna make sure, he said he gonna correct us in measure, man. Talking about the 2/3, so on and so forth. Listen, you got people who in the truth are part of the 2/3. Why? Because they lack that affection and that compassion. They lack the sincerity of the walk and the concern for their own soul to get into the kingdom. If you understand, you really in this walk, you striving in this thing, you understand what it takes for the next person. So you'll have more patience with your brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And sometimes the patience wear out. That's a true thing. But if you know that you put in time and definite effort working on these souls or brothers and sisters, people around you, listen, you in a different state. But those who just off the muscle, you just want to condemn people. Listen, man, you in a set. Look, you got to face judgment too, man. You have to face it too. All right, I'm gonna go to Sirach 7. I'm about to close out too. I'm about to close out. Sirach chapter 7. This is important. Verse 8. Sirach chapter 7, verse 8. It says, "Bind not one sin upon another, for in one thou shalt not be unpunished. Say not, the Most High will look upon the multitude of my oblations, and when I offer to the Most High God, he will accept it." So you got some people, we going here because of this. You got some people thinking that because they keep the Sabbath, because they know when the holy days roll in, because they prophesying to the wind, or they in the breezeway, or because the Most High done gave them the gift to work miracles, or had the dreams and can interpret those dreams. They feel like, hey, because he gave me this gift, because he speak to me, whatever, hey, I'm in good shape with the Most High. No, you're not. Don't be fooled to think that because he gave you a gift and is working through you, that you're going to be spared from judgment, man. Now, you got to strive like the rest of the people. He said his gifts and callings are without repentance. So because you can prophesy, because he made you a prophet or a prophetess, don't let your gift become your idol. Because that's what's happening with a lot of people. They become teachers and say, man, look, I done brought so-and-so into the truth. I done put in this work. I done gave a word and seed to the person. They said, I needed that. I don't know how you knew that. The Most High must be working with you, and they get the big head and feel like they ain't got to check themselves. You gonna bust hell wide open, man. You gonna bust hell wide open, brother, sister, elder, youngster. Your gift ain't gonna be what's gonna grant you the acceptance into the kingdom. You better be using it in sincerity. Even on a note where we talking about music, myself, look, I was making worldly, ungodly music, man, influencing people to do evil and violence. The Most High didn't remove that gift from me. He said, look, I gave you the gift of music. I'm gonna see what you gonna do with it. You can use it to glorify the world and Satan and everything else, or you can glorify me. Transition that thing and say, look, man, I want to make music for the Most High. So those who good cooks, they whipping up, man, all they whipping up is pork and shrimp. You a good cook. In the world, people fell out about how your chitlins was cooked. And I never tried shit. But people falling out by the abominable food you cook. That's a gift. Put that away, and you need to start cooking kosher. You know what I'm saying? If you need to be doing the thing that's acceptable to the temple that the Most High made. Talking about being teachers, being those who do influence. Some of the people now, right now, even in the truth, the way you carry yourself, you blaspheming the Most High, man. You end up blaspheming the Most High through your actions. Though you profess him, through your actions, you blaspheme him amongst the people. Had a conversation about what I felt about profanity. All right. People teaching and using profanity or curse words. My take on it is this, brothers and sisters, because some will say, well, look, man, this a bastard language. This is not our original language. Who knows? These words might not even mean anything. Okay, so let's go with it. But in the case if we say these words don't mean nothing, it's a bastard language, they powerless, we should be able to use them. Hey, they not it's not in the book, it's not in the Bible. Where no law is no transgression. Okay, check this out. You come home to your wife, and when you walk in the door, the first thing she call you is a B. How you doing, B? How you gonna feel? You walk into your son's room, your daughter's room, he say, get out of here, B. Talking to the daddy. But listen, this is a bastard language. It shouldn't matter. Hey, these words ain't got no power. But your son call you that, man, you're gonna be ready to choke. You're gonna be ready to manhandle your son. What spirit has jumped on you? You're gonna get in, you and your wife, you and your husband gonna bump heads. So I'm saying that to say, when you pray, do you curse? Do you use those words? Will you, if I told your son to say those words, if I told your daughter to say those things, would you have a problem with me? And if so, then let you know the spirit of those words. Then let you know what's up. But you got those who seeking or who will mishandle the word of the Most High, teach it how they want to. You can't do it how you want to, man. Judgment gonna begin with us. So in the case where, let's go to Galatians. Let's see some of the things that's gonna keep people from getting into the kingdom. You know, we got it in Galatians 5. We got it in 1 Corinthians 6. But I want to go to Galatians. Excuse me. Colossians. Let's see. Thessalonians. Here we go. Galatians chapter 5. All right, verse 19. Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery. We got people in the truth that do that. Fornication. We got people in the truth that do that. Uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, Yeah, you got people out. You got warlocks in the truth. The dude who you listening to, who teaching, man. When dude shut down, he going into his closet with a pentagram. Friends out though, beard on point. You know what I'm saying? Dude is on point. He going through the precepts. Say no the word too. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High know who is who, man. He know who's sincere. He know who playing. He know who just around thinking this thing is a phase, thinking this thing is a movement. It's just something for you to do. This just something temporary. You just want to try. But guess what? You playing with the wrong one, man. You playing with the wrong type of fire. The Most High know who you are. All right. It says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, big thing. People around here smiling, shaking up, shalom to mouth hard. We in Galatians chapter 5. Galatians 5, we started with verse 19. Indeed, thinking it's a fad. But you got brothers and sisters out, they got their hatred in them, man. Hate for their brothers and sisters. And hating them about some of the most pettiest things, man. You hate this person, but look, understand this. For what measure you use is going to be measured back to you. That's what the word says. So you got some people out here condemning folks for a little bit of nothing. Man, the Most High could have got rid of you so long ago. Should have got rid of you so long ago. But he gave you mercy. He let that grace saturate your life. But you turn around like in the parable where you had the servant and his master. The master finna go ahead and get rid of this dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, get the crying out, hey, have mercy. Let me get this right. Give me a little more time. Please spare me. Said the master, said, hey, look, man, I'm moving with compassion. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you some more time. Dude straightway left there, went to the people who were servants to him, beating them. They dropped going off in their pockets, no patience for him at all. But word got back to the master, that same servant, this specific servant. Said, man, I had compassion on you. You should have had compassion on them. Man, bind dude hand and foot, man. You know what I'm saying? These folks finna be cast out to uttermost darkness where weeping and gnashing of teeth. Out here playing, man. It said it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. It's a fearful thing. All right, so as I get on, I tell people all the time, don't look at me as a person who sins. You got people who come on, they broadcast and do, and you people get the idea that oh, this dude's super holy. This woman is super holy. Don't be fooled, man. Everybody got to give answer. Everybody, from the greatest among us to the least of us. All right, but going back into Galatians 5, hatred, variance. All right, variance. We're talking about, man, you got your picks and chooses. You want to be cool with this brother and sister. You want to, you upbeat, you know what I'm saying, shalom, strong shalom to him. But for this one over here, you want to, you all dry, you know what I mean? You don't want to show love to him. You know what I mean? You don't want to give their pure love to those brothers and sisters. Picking and choosing. Man, that's against this works of the flesh, man. You're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. All of them. Hamashiach died for us, laid down his life for us. And you got many of us that don't even believe in the Messiah. But he still went through that. The Most High used him to be the mediator for reconciliation of the covenant. And I got some on it. But we're going to continue going. It says emulations. You know, you want to contend and compete with folks. You got brothers and sisters out here competing on who rocking the best garments. You worried about who rocking the best. Man, this thing's supposed to be about souls, man. What yoke you destroying? What demon you delivering these folks from, man? You know what I'm saying? Who you really toiling from? You really visiting the widow and laboring and showing love to the widow. Huh? You really praying for the sick. You know what I'm saying? You really done fasted to where the Most High giving you discernment. Man, look, bro, you got people around you who really trying to cut you off and set you up. You know what I'm saying? They really want to get rid of you. They got the mind to kill or murder you, man. So they don't have your best interest at heart. You ain't been feeding your spirit enough to get that download, as my brother Bamabi saying. You ain't feed your spirit enough to get that understanding. Because you too busy tied up talking about your beard became an idol. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge became an idol to these people, man. You thinking you finna get into the kingdom just because of what you know? Man, you sadly mistaken. We're gonna hold it. Let's go to Sirach 19, man. Sirach 19, verse. Let me see what I'm finna start with. Yeah, 24. Sirach 19, verse 24. It says, he that have small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. So you thinking that what you know gonna get you in. It ain't. It said the one that got small understanding. The one who you don't know all the breakdown. You went into the extra books and you probably ain't even read the whole 66. But you obedient to the Most High. You sincere in serving the Most High. Say you better than the one who got all the breakdowns, but transgressing. That's what it's about, man. You know, this thing that became to where people really think it's a game. This is not no game, man. Spirits are real. You know what I'm saying? You got some who out here convinced thinking that, man, look, you live, you die, and that's it. No, I'm here to tell you and let you know, look, you got a consciousness. The difference between a corpse and you is the spirit. The reason we can talk, chat, eat, sit down, play, run, talk to our children, the spirit is the spirit of life. The breath of life is in us. It's not in that corpse. So that means the spirit had to go into the body. And if it had to get into the body, then you die. It means it left the body. Where did it go? Where did it go, man? Now let's go back to Galatians 5. All right, it says emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness. Some people just, all you want to do is drink, man. You overdoing the young, the wine. You just overindulging in this strong drink. Man, you better put that down. You better stop that. You better moderate that. You know what I'm saying? He said, be sober. Because your adversary, the devil, going to and fro seeking who he can devour. Be sober, be vigilant. In a fight, brother, you got people, they get drunk and they think they're the toughest thing in the world. They want to fight everybody, but you off balance. You so drunk, you don't even realize that the dude you talking crap to, his hands register as weapons. This person is a professional fighter, and you talking crazy to him. So when they break you off because you can't hold your liquor, you know what I'm saying? You end up getting a concussion, busted up. Hey, you brought that on yourself. But we're talking about drunkenness. People so you chasing this feeling you chasing this one feeling somewhere. You hooked on a feeling, man. That same feeling that you chasing and you hooked on is gonna send you to hell, man. I'm talking to Israelites today. I ain't in the street prophesying to them. I'm talking about in-house. This was going on in-house. You got brothers and sisters out here lusting after the next person's spouse, man. You got brothers and sisters whose spouses around here parading themselves for other people. You know you're supposed to be covered up, sister. You know what I'm saying? And when we talking about modest apparel, they don't just apply to the women. Bro, you married. Hey, hide your muscles. That's for your wife to see, man. That ain't for every woman to see to start. Ooh, look at him. Want to show your body out. No, you supposed to be in modest apparel too, man. But this was going on within Israelites, within the community. And this what ended up pushing people away. This what ended up giving people a bad taste about the culture. You know what I'm saying? We got to be real about this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Folks around here playing with it. You around here parading yourself around for these other men. And you got a husband at home. Or you dressing modestly on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? But all throughout the week, you know what I'm saying? Not that you know what I'm saying, you ain't got your closet together. I understand it, brothers and sisters. But I'm talking about those who purposely, you don't even make the attempt to dress modest. You don't even make the attempt to cover yourself up because you want that attention, because you want to be seen by people. There's your reward right there. All right, but going forth, he said envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told in time past, that they which do such things, shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right, so again, we talking about witches and warlocks too. We talking about everything. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 6, man. 1 Corinthians 6. And even in that case, you got some who their bodies have become their idols. That's idolatry. You in the gym more than you in the script. You know what I'm saying? You faithfully in the gym working out, going hard. You know what I mean? But where's that same drive when it comes down to the word of the Most High, man? Exercising righteousness and truth to learn what the book say and applying it. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. And I did say I had some on Hamashiach. You know, we got non-believers. I'm going to get the blood out of my hand. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. All right. Let me see if I want to start there. Yeah, verse 9 says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators. You want to sleep around with any and everybody? You want to be out there just laying it down, laying up with whoever, whenever? Understand this, man. Recompense, judgment gonna come with it. The goal is marriage. The goal is holy matrimony. You know what I mean? Not to be fornicator. You got whoremongers, just like you got whores. All right, and you around here with every woman. You around here with every man. In the truth, though. No, man. That ain't how it's supposed to be promiscuous like that. No. Gonna buzz hell wide open. These are the things we got to repent from. These are the things we got to be able to identify. The Most High had the apostles, the prophet, he had them move to write these things so that we can identify these things. As we wrestle and toil with these things, you know, when we praying for deliverance from this stuff, if we wrestling with it, you got to understand this. The Most High have it to where, okay, let's just say you got a neighborhood bully. All right. But the Most High put it on somebody's spirit to go to their neighborhood and take that bully down, to be a defender, to be vigilant, right? You go to their neighborhood, there's a crowd of people outside. If you're looking for the bully, you can't just say, hey, y'all, I'm ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? You want to be specific to know who you battling. So I'm saying that to say, when we talking about deliverance from different types of spirits, you need to know what spirit, you need to be able to identify what spirit you're dealing with. Are you dealing with a drunkard spirit? Are you dealing with the spirit of lasciviousness or wantonness or concupiscence where you can't control yourself? You incontinent. You need to know. Because if you don't know, you won't know what to pray against or what to pray for. We need to know these things, man. All right, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. And it's something that when you look at that word effeminate, it says soft. A lot of people are, a lot of men being effeminate and soft. Afraid to stand up for what's righteous. Afraid to stand up for the Most High. You just nice and kind all the time to everybody. It's a time and a season to be patient with people and to be kind, like I said. But in other cases, it's time to check folks, man. And right now is the time for Israel to check Israel. We need to be checking ourselves in sincerity, man. All right, so going forth, it said, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, stealing stuff, taking what's not yours, nor covetous. You want what your neighbor got. You want what somebody else got. And that's real dangerous, because within covetousness, you already looking at what they got, saying you want it. Envy and jealousy it can be the foundation of it. All right, and that'll turn into the spirit of Cain. You jealous of what this person have, watching what they got. Now you want to kill and take that from them. That can turn to robbery. That can turn to thievery. That can turn to adultery. See it? You know what I'm saying? That, man, that's a deep spirit right there, covetousness. It can branch out to any of those things. All right, it says, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right, so we don't want to fall upon any of these banners, brothers and sisters. We don't want that. All right, so in this case, man, we got to be looking in the mirror, looking at the person in the mirror, and not being like the person who they behold their face in the mirror, and straightway as they part for the mirror, forget what manner of person they was. Because it's some people, they only hold it on the Sabbath. It's some people, they only hold it when they're around the body. You know what I'm saying? It's some people, they only hold it on camera, man. If that's you, you need to repent. You got to check yourself. This thing's supposed to be day in, day out. You know what I mean? You don't wake up with the conscious decision saying you want to be in the truth, assert the Most High today or this morning. Now, it's all throughout the day. All throughout the day, you got to make that decision. And you're going to have tests all throughout the day, brothers and sisters. You might not pass all of them. You're not. But we want to pass the majority of them. All right, and what they begin with is being sincere and being truthful, first and foremost with the Most High. And then ourselves and the people around us, man. There's a lot of people who they have the mindset right now, I'm good, I'm going to heaven. Man, if you know you going to heaven, hey, man, I don't know what to say about you. But you need to check yourself. We just read in 1 Peter 4:18, if the righteous be scarcely saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? All right. You see, I said I had some about Hamashiach. So let's go to Job. Because some people say, and I'm only talking about this because if one person think it, that means there's a multitude of people that think that way. All right. But some will say, nobody died for your sins. Nobody laid their life down. You know, it's no mediator for you. The Messiah, Christ, he's not real, so on and so forth. All right, but let me get some out the OT. So even if we talking about Old Testament only Hebrews, as far as a person's sin being accepted by way of somebody else. Let's go to Job. What I want, 40? I want Job 40. And even within it, man, that's a powerful book. I'm suggesting people read it will understand it. Because a lot of time we talk about Job, we say, well, Job, he got a double portion. He was faithful. He didn't curse the Most High. He got a double portion for, being faithful, even in his tribulation. All right, but the blessing only came, brothers and sisters. When you read that account, it came because Job had to confess out of his mouth. He said, I am thou. He said, I didn't speak with knowledge. And the Most High heard that. He said, look, he confessed that thing. Because Job was really trying to magnify himself against the Most High when you read it. All right, so let me get this here. Job 40, verse 1, it says, moreover, the Most High answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth the Most High, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Most High and said, behold, I am vile. What shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. I don't need to speak no more. Once have I spoken, but I will not answer. Yea, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then answered the Most High unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, Gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee and declare thou unto me. All right, so we get in the context of it, but now we're going over here. So when we come over to Job 42, let me see. Yeah, 42 and 7. This is what we at. It says, and it was so that after the Most High had spoken these words unto Job, he checked him. He really checked him. The Most High said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. Verse 8. Therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job. Pay attention. He said, take you 7 bullocks and 7 rams now. Then go to Job. Watch this. And offer up for yourselves a burnt offering. And my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept. So understand that when we read this, they got what they need to make the sacrifice, to make reconciliation with the Most High. But he said, look, take that to Job, and Job gonna pray for you. I'm gonna accept what Job say. So the people who say, well, the Hamashiach don't exist, he ain't real, we don't need nobody to go forth for us to mediate the covenant or none of that. How you know you accepted before the Most High with your sinful self? With your wicked self? How you know it? With your vile self? With your unclean self? How you know that the Most High accepts you? You need somebody to mediate for you. All right? So finishing that verse out, it says, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, and that ye have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. So Eliphaz the Temanite and Bildad the Shuhite and Zophar the Naamathite went and did according as the Most High commanded them. The Most High also accepted Job. Come. All right, family. So that's where I'm at with it, man. That's all I got. So let us be careful to check ourselves, to repent, you know what I mean, daily, throughout the day, considering ourselves before we go on, you know what I mean, to deal with other people in any type of manner aside from compassion with mercy and truth. All right, any questions, comments, or concerns before we close out? And let me drop the email. Let me drop the email here in the comments. Children of the Prophet 144 at gmail.com. Children of the Prophet, yeah. So if nobody have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can shoot them. You know, if you think about them throughout the week or anything, to that email right there. Also, with the holidays coming, Memorial blowing of trumpets, as well as Feast of Tabernacles, Day of Atonement. If you want to take part in it with us, anybody seeking, to travel to Tennessee, like I said, to take part in, shoot your information to that email. We'll take it from there. On this side, like I said, I understand that brothers and sisters celebrated at different times. Here this way, we celebrated September 25th, which is that Friday, that sundown. We'll be at the location. September 25th, that Sunday, which is the 27th, we'll part ways, and then return the following weekend, October 2nd, and be departing from the campsite October 4th, that Sunday. So again, like in the meanwhile, questions that you might think of later, shoot them to that email. And I thank y'all, those who have contacted, who have reached out, who do support in any form or fashion. Bless y'all. And I do have to check myself on some. In time past, I made mention of, people, making or contributing alms or offerings if it was on their spirit to do so. Forgive me, y'all. I don't want to be talking business on the Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. I had to check myself and realize that, we don't want to do that on the Sabbath. All right. The Most High definitely be magnified day why. We definitely want that contrite spirit, Hebrew unity and truth. Nashon Yehuda, Shalom Akim, Kankan. I pray the word was edifying, strengthening. I pray some strongholds got destroyed. I pray some yokes have been destroyed, and if not destroyed, at least weakened. But all praises, glory, and honor goes to the Most High. Bless y'all. I love y'all. May the Most High have compassion on his chosen, the children of Israel. Shalom, saints.